Crystal comes on board. She comes into the studio. She records the radio show, and she is talking about eating healthy, and then realizes that I eat like complete crap, and ends up spending over an hour making fun of me. And I think that was the start to a beautiful relationship. And here we are. Now you're doing a master class, and now it's everybody else's turn to get made fun of over how bad we eat. So the floor is yours, my dear. Thank you for being here, and let's do this.
Hey, uh, hi guys, I'm Crystal. I run a business called Cooking Done Right, and I help people just with learning how to cook in-house. So I teach classes in-house. I have a focaccia class coming up. I have a nutrition label class coming up. And I do it all in-house. So like if you're like, hey, come to me with my family, I want to learn, let's do sourdough together or let's do juicing together, then I do all of those things. Um, so that's just a little bit of what I do. But I'm also involved in like teaching kids. So I do homeschooling groups as well, like little kids. And I take people out to the farm where they can work on, growing and understanding food. And then I'm in the process of creating a book to be able to allow people to look from A to Z for fruits and vegetables of when to plant it, how to grow it, and then recipes that are easy and don't look like they're so complicated, and you have all the ingredients at home. But my biggest question for everybody today who joined in and those who watch the recording or watch the live later or are watching it live, if today were your last day, what would your legacy be? Who would step into running your business, your career, your household, and what would people remember about you? Would Were you kind in the world? And I hear a lot of people say, I would die for my kids, I would die for my spouse, I would die for my family. But the real question at the end of the day comes down to, will you actually live for them? So, what I mean by that is, I'm going to actually live for them. I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to be present and in the moment. I am going to get off my phone. I am going to turn off the Wi-Fi in my house. I'm going to try to do something to where my body doesn't feel so old so fast.
Oh man.
And and so when it comes down to it, we drink so much soda in this world. We drink so much water in this world, but even the water that we drink, like it's questionable. I have an amazing friend who teaches water classes, and it opens your eyes to a whole nother realm. And we think that we like know everything, but at the end of the day, we don't. There is so much that we consume, but at the end of the day, what are you consuming? What are you buying from? Your money is everything. And what I say about that is that when you spend your money, you're voting. You're voting for food, you're voting for people, you're voting for this consumer. Um, those are things that we all have to think about. So when you're like buying a product, do you think this product is a healthy product because of a vendor that has been a mom and pop vendor that has grown exponentially and not sold out to, big pharma or any of those big companies that are out there as well? Real progress doesn't happen overnight. It happens by one small choice at a time. That means plant something in your backyard. One thing. Take a plant and just plant it in your backyard and see what it does. It doesn't matter what it is. Like grab a zucchini, grab some radishes. Those are the easiest thing. Just throw the radishes in the ground and just grow those. And the other thing too is that we think about our yards and how much we grow things, our grass, to make it look green. Growing grass in our front yard was actually made to be like you are rich because you have green grass type of thing. It took away the fact that we actually grew food in our yards. So it was like this like concept that growing green grass is amazing, but it's taking the food away. If we were to grow food in our front yards, I think 100% of us would not be struggling to buy the food in the grocery stores. We would have it, we'd go outside, we'd get some vitamin D in the morning, we would harvest our fruits and vegetables, whatever we were growing. We would eat what we harvest, and then we'd bring it in the house and we'd cook it for the day. Like, what is so hard about taking that time? It's just easier for people to say, I'm just gonna go to the convenience store, I'm gonna grab a bag of chips and I'm gonna grab a soda. It's easier for me. Or I'm gonna go drive through the drive-through and I'm gonna spend probably 40 to 100 bucks because that's what people are spending nowadays with their families of four or five. Even the two of you go out to dinner, you spend 100 bucks on dinner. It's easy now. But what if you actually made something that was nutritious for you? What if you actually found a vendor that was local, that was nutritious for you? Because you were like, I'm going to grow my own food. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about myself, my journey. And I'm so glad that you guys joined me today. But in 2017, my grandfather passed away. My grandfather passed away. It was the first of many to follow. I had 8 family members pass away in a span of about 4 years. It was really hard. It was everything that you can possibly think of. Um, None of it was actually the vid, but some of it was just really questionable. Why? Kidney failure, diabetes, heart failure, brain aneurysm, you name it. Like, it's an eye opener. And when you lose that many people in that span of time, it sucks. The other aspect was my husband at the time was fighting alcoholism, and he is now sober and doing ministry for kids. So it's absolutely amazing to see his journey turn fold. But I made a whole bunch of choices to go vegan in my house for 2 years. Cold turkey, just went vegan. And the reason why is because I wanted to shop local. I wanted to shop um, grow my own food. I also wanted it to be organic. I also wanted to be whole food. And then I didn't want to buy meats either. Like, meat is expensive. And I wanted to find local growers who actually butchered their own meats and things like that down the road. So if we think about that today, if I were to go to the local farmers market, which there are a bajillion of them, there's an app that you can use that's really cool. And it's called Localized. And there's another one where it's like farmers markets. And so you can go out and you can find out a farmers market for every single day. So if like maybe you're busy on a Monday, maybe there's a farmers market on Tuesday, like go to the farmers market, find the people who are selling localized food and start there. Like, that doesn't have to be like these huge steps like me, where I went cold turkey and just went vegan and was like, I can't do this anymore. I've watched too many family members die. I can't do this. Um, I also, was in the realm of where I do 30 fruits and vegetables every single day. I found a product that I absolutely love, and I get 30 fruits and vegetables every day, single day, because I am a mother of four. I am a very busy household between soccer, taekwondo, gymnastics, baseball, basketball, you name it, whatever soccer camp or Bible camp that the kids are going to, I'm on the go 24/7. So it depends on what you want to make time for. And that's really what it comes down to. As I ask people, what are you willing to make time for? Are you willing to make time for to live your life so that you can actually spend your life with your loved ones? Or are you willing to not make time for that so that you can be in the hospital or be in the next ambulance down the road because you're hearing it? The ambulance is loud, but it gets louder when it pulls up to the front of your driveway because you've decided that you're going to eat the way that you are, or you're going to not exercise, or you're going to not get in 10,000 steps every single day. Like, focusing on sitting behind, um, focusing on sitting behind a computer and working every day is what a lot of us do. We have desk jobs, some of us. If I had a desk job, I probably would go out of my mind. So I'm blessed that I actually work on a farm. I work with flowers. I work with a community. I build a lot of kids in the community to have to to find a food forest because at the end of the day, if you know me and I've come to your house and I've done a class for you, I'm usually bringing a ton of vegetables with me too. And you're like, gosh darn this girl, like, how am I supposed to cook these all week? And I'm like, I'll give you recipes, it's fine. But that's the key is that if we have a community, if somebody were to grow, I'm going to focus on, like, let's say we grow one thing in each of our yards. There's just a couple of neighbors that we get along with, or maybe we grow it on our patio decks because there's something called hydroponic systems where you can just grow it on your patio and it's in a tower and it just grows vibrantly. And each person grows one thing. I grow zucchini, another person grows cucumbers, another person grows tomatoes, another person grows strawberries. And then throughout the week, you just trade. Like, hey, I need a couple of tomatoes. I need a couple of zucchini. I need a couple of this. And you constantly, you're just trading. You're building that community. Um, Same thing goes with like fruit trees. We have so many trees in the backyards that how much of that fruit goes to waste? Are we reaching
Yeah.
out to those people? I have lemon tree. I have a lemon tree. I have like three lemon trees just because of my surrounding neighbors too. So we all have lemon trees. And do we just let that fruit go to the waste on the ground, or do we actually do something with it? Do you juice
You need to
it
make lemon
and
bars with
use
that.
it? I do actually. I make lemon bars. I make lemon shots, lemon ginger cayenne shots. But it's a give and take. It's really a give and take. And at the end of the day, it's, are you ready to take that step? Are you ready to actually move forward with, you know, doing those types of things? And when it comes down to it, a lot of us aren't. We move through our day-to-day basis and we're like, how do I take that one step? How do I take that one step? So that's what I want to ask you guys today is that why did you get on this phone call? Why did you get on this live Zoom? Are you really ready to take that next step? Or you just did it because, oh, I just did it. I just want my name to be out there and seen by other people. Or I did it because I really care about my health and I'm willing to take the next step for myself. Because I want to live for that person that I'm spending my life with, or I want to live for my kids. I want to see my grandkids. I want to see my dog live as many years as they can. Like, I don't want my dog to be left without me because I decided to make some poor choices and I didn't work out or I didn't eat healthy that day. Yes, mind you, there are going to be those days where you're going to be like, I just want that Snickers bar, or I just want that Doritos bag, or whatever it is. There is a happy medium. And
Big
that
Mac.
doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, a Big Mac, as John would say. A Big Mac, as John would say. But there is a happy medium. There's so many different things. We think about the products that we buy. Like what I said, you're voting when you buy your product. When you buy flour, do you know where your flour grows? Do you know where the wheat grows? Do you know what type of berries are used when that flour is grounded up? What brand is that? So when you're buying your milk, do you know where that milk comes from? Do you know how it's pasteurized? Do you know if it's unpasteurized? Do you know what ingredients are added to it? When it comes to cheese and you buy shredded cheese or block cheese, what type of cheese are you buying? If you're buying shredded cheese, did you know shredded cheese has like this powder that's thrown on top of it, so just to make it not sticky? The whole
Yeah.
point is that you buy the block cheese. Buy the brand of block cheese that's actually better for you because you shredding it yourself. One of the other things too is that when you work with your own hands, it's actually healing. When you eat with your hands, it's actually healing. It's an energy that you're giving your body. Those are all things. Being out in the garden, having your feet in the grass, those are all grounding things. Those are things that are essential for just our energy. When you walk into a room, you want to feel that you don't feel like crap right now. And a lot of times we do. What are you taking as an energy drink? Did you drink a Red Bull today? What was that Red
Not
Bull?
yet.
What was that Red Bull? So, can you make a juice that is from beets and mix it with pineapple and lemon and that runs through your bloodstream? Like, that's a way that you could do that as well. It covers the beet taste, but the beets actually open up your pathways with your body and your heart and all that kind of stuff. So then your blood is flowing through your body more. So there's many things that we can do. The question is, will you take that step?
I
And
think the hardest part for people is they we're on the go and and we grab something quick and we grab it from a window. We drive to a place and we order it through a box and it food comes through a window and we eat it and we just continue on with our day. I think that's what it really comes down to. We're just lazy.
Some of us are. Some of us are. But then some of us can
I'm
make those
speaking for
choices of
myself.
stop being lazy. Well, I know you probably, what did you have this morning? Your egg McMuffin? What did you have?
My egg McMuffin, peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
Boom, boom.
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Every day I
so
get my
eh,
English muffin with PB&J on it.
yeah, yeah, PB&J, and which is not a bad thing, but here's the thing. Does your
Yes, it is. Yeah.
PB&J, does your peanut butter come out of the jar fast or slow? Do you have oil that builds up on top of your peanut butter jar, or
I
is
don't
there
know.
actually,
It's extra crunchy, skippy, or
yeah,
whatever,
that's like
nip
the
or whatever.
crappiest peanut butter
Yes, it's garbage.
Um, but that's the thing is it's like peanuts, most people don't understand have mold within them, the way they're processed and how they're processed. So finding the right type of peanuts or growing them, they're like, I can't grow all this stuff myself, Crystal. I'm like, well, then start taking things out. Start taking condiments out. What is it that
Or
you,
we just buy our groceries from Crystal.
yeah. True, true, true. Yeah, you like right now I have tons of vegetables and tons of vegetables right now. Tomatoes,
Okay.
zucchini, um and yes, for those who are like I can't do it. I just need to, grab a sourdough bread or something of that matter. I have an event or something. Yeah, just reach out to me. I do
We
those.
should do, I wonder if we should do some sort of cooking something where we get, people together maybe once a quarter or something, and everyone comes together and and maybe we make bread together, and we start to learn how and what the food actually is and how it works.
Yeah.
That could be really interesting.
Yeah. And cooking together, yes, cooking together is actually amazing because you're bringing community together.
Yeah.
You can share recipes together, even if it was like a huge, like not even huge, but even if it was like potluck, 15 to 20 people, and then you decide like, oh my gosh, this salad was amazing. I would never think about trying this. All these different flavors. I made a salad for my husband, and
Yeah, because I don't like food. And it's just I grew up with Kraft mac and cheese, so my palate is terrible. I just don't like the taste of food.
yeah.
And so this could be really interesting where we start with the base, and I go, oh my God, either this is great or this is terrible, but you never know until you try, kind of thing. And
Hmm.
your spouse is never gonna force you to try. You have to do it on your own. I'm going to buy you this and try it. Yeah, I'm not going to eat that. But when you finally open your mind up to the idea, then you're
Hmm.
like, okay, maybe we'll try
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's the other thing too, is that we think like if I make this dish, it makes like for six people and there's only two of us. Like, what if I don't like it and I have all these ingredients and I just
Hmm.
made this dish or I had to buy like six different ingredients that I'm probably never going to use again.
Hmm.
And that's the other aspect too. Is like, what if I make something? I have a zucchini class coming up that I'm going to be teaching, and it's all on zucchini. And literally, I will be teaching like full on cooking where people understand how to turn it into a bread, utilize it for that, utilize it for, zucchini boats or whatever it is, sandwiches. However, I will turn it into many different recipes and they'll get to try them all. And so it'll be like, wait, hold on, all these different flavors, all these different things, and it was made
Where
from one
where
type
is this going
of.
to be at?
It's at ACC. It is an senior event center off of Pocket, and
Okay,
it'll be July 22nd, I believe. Yeah.
okay, get me all the details for that. That would be interesting. We
Yeah.
should do some stuff like this. And it's funny looking at the transcript. Everyone's sitting here going, "Oh my God, we should do this. I love this idea."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something here. I think this is really interesting. And this could be like a Saturday type thing. The group gets together and we all just maybe even we bring, the families together and we're all just cooking and
Yeah.
eating. That could be really interesting. Everyone
And
can make fun of the fact that I don't like how anything tastes.
yeah, but I bet you would. I bet you'd be like, holy smokes.
Mhm.
And then I bet you would be like, that's made with vegetables. I have tricked my kids with a lot of things. So I've literally made beet cookies and they're called red velvets. And people are like, these don't taste like beets. That's crazy. There's no food dye in them. So that's the other
Mm.
thing. We think about all these kids who are having issues today, and because they can't sit still, part of it is technology, but the other part of it is the food that we're giving them. They're sitting in
Mhm.
classrooms, they're told to sit still, but the food that they're given is, Fruity Pebbles in the morning. Like,
Yeah, I know, right? If you remember when we were kids, part of a balanced breakfast. I'm like, what part of Cookie Crisp is part of a balanced breakfast? Like, come on. It
yeah,
literally says
no.
cookie in the title. That's what we're sending the kids to school with.
Yes.
Crunch berries. You make it sound healthy. It's crunch berries. Like, what?
No. Not at all. And that's the other part is that when we think about, okay, so I read one of the comments and it says how to work on a budget. Well, the other thing is that I'm working on a calendar that shows people what is in season in our northern hemisphere and what you focus on buying in your northern hemisphere. Like if avocados are in season, they're way more cheaper. They're like $3.99 for six of them versus, or sometimes you'll see them in the store, five for $1 for, or five for $5, or they're like $1 a piece versus like when they're not in season, they're like $7 or $8 for that bag of five, or $3 for one, depending on where you shop at. So you have to know what's in season too. A lot of people don't. We don't know what's in season. We're like, how do we pick it? I've taught my kids how to pick vegetables because they should know, okay, when a watermelon, my son has learned this because he's learned it the hard way. But when you're harvesting a watermelon, there's another side to the watermelon, and there's this little part that squiggles out. And once that little part has died and turned brown, you actually can pick your watermelon. So most people are like, "Oh, it's by the sound." Well, no, it's by the stem that's coming off of the watermelon. And if that's died completely, then your watermelon is ready to harvest. And so knowing those little types of tidbits, when you go into the store and people say, oh, well, don't buy the bell pepper that has four on the bottom or has three on the bottom because one is a male and one is a female. Well, one is better for cooking and one is better for dicing. But bell peppers also have amazing nutrients inside of them. So if I were to actually
And they're
dice
so good
that
in
up,
tacos.
yeah, but if I was to dice that up and leave that for a few hours, it almost could have the same amount of antioxidants as blueberries, which people don't know. It's the same thing with carrots. Like if I were to dice it, because if you think about food, when it is out there on a vine, it's growing, it's live, it's live. So it tries to heal itself. If we like break off something, then it's trying to heal itself. It's trying to grow something back, right? If we cut food up and we dice it up, then we're thinking about, okay, well, now it's trying to heal itself, but it's creating all of these different types of nutrients that can put into our bodies. So when we put certain things into our bodies, it creates types of like things. And I'm going to go into really big words right now, but polyphenols are huge. We need those. We need color variety in our body. When we're eating different things, eating purple, eating green, eating yellow, eating red, eating, it's a color of the rainbow. Those are all essential. There's a reason why each one of those things are so essential. Um, and are you saying that when we dice it, we get more
Dice, we
nutrients?
get more nutrients.
Yes, as long as it's eaten with a certain amount of time. Like you'll think of things like as time goes on, it kind of like dies, but uh the nutrients, what happens is that like let's say you cut bell pepper, all those wounds now that are in that bell pepper, that's what you think of because you just diced it up. Like if I were to cut my skin wants to heal itself, right? So that's why the blood like goes to it and then it starts to itch because it's healing, it has healing, and it's trying to, harden the skin and things like that. Well, that's because your body's trying to heal those wounds. Well, think about that with a bell pepper. Think about that with a carrot. It's the same type of difference. Um, Ripping and shredding lettuce with our hands is better than actually chopping lettuce. So those types of like quirky things that people don't realize, we can add more nutrients to our body just by doing simple changes when we're prepping our food. Not heating a lot of vegetables up to really high heat, not using, you can use water to steam your onions. You don't need oil. All these people who use oil, like take all the oils out. canola oils and, even avocado oil at times is not so amazing because you don't know where it's coming from. Avocado oil is actually like really, really dark, really dark. It's not like this like bland tan color. So there's so many things that like I could tell you and we could be here all
Very
day,
interesting.
literally. Um, but that's where it comes down to is like you just don't understand. And that's why I teach kids. That's why I teach adults. That's why I come in home and I do that at your house because a lot of times people are like, I don't have the time to go somewhere else. I'm like, okay, fine. Get all your family members together and I will come to your house and I'll cook a dinner for you that's nutrient density and that's full of flavor, and then we'll learn something to cook together, whether it be,
That's incredible.
sourdough or whether it
All right,
be
we need to
juicing,
package this up.
any of that.
Let's sit down. You and I needed to sit down anyway. So let's sit down and let's package this up and build something for the group. Some sort of cooking classes, and literally cooking done right is perfect. And let's do something. What I want to do is I want to open up the room. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. If you're in a situation where you can't speak on the mic, just type it in the little sidebar there, and then Crystal can answer those as best as she can.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm the broke college student.
That's okay.
I guess I also feel like, do you also do people who come from like different cultures? Because I'm Haitian, because sometimes cultural elements can also play a part in why people can feel like limited in like healthy eating sometimes. Like me, I'm gonna eat healthy regardless.
Yeah.
I guess I was just curious, like what types of like clientele do you deal with?
I deal with everybody. I love all different types of cultures. I think that every culture has something to share. And if I don't understand the culture, then I like to learn. I look up different cookbooks and things like that. I do believe that your blood type and your culture play a huge role in what your body can process. That right there is, if you figure out those few things, you can help your body process food better. And I'm Hawaiian and Hungarian, and so they do a lot of like, you know, s soups and stews and Hungarian, and then Hawaiian is all, banana leaves and slow cooked and uh, different things like that. So like learning your culture, I think is huge. I would love to help you in any way, shape, or form I can. You can reach out to me.
Oh, interesting. Thank you.
Hmm.
Sherry, what do you think about putting something together with Crystal, some sort of maybe a Saturday cooking class kind of thing?
I think it sounds like a wonderful idea. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so
to
too.
learn and like to have that connection and share a meal together, but to actually cook it together and shred the lettuce with our own hands together and
We need a venue. We would need a good venue.
mhm. Yeah.
We'll all put our heads together.
Yeah.
Somebody owns a mansion. We know it.
We know it, yes. I have a question though for Crystal.
Yeah.
Circling back to water, and hearing lots of like a lot of people really just want the like mountain spring water, and they'll get it like only in glass, and they're literally paying $20 a gallon to have their cold water in glass delivered, and then there's like, well, okay, at least just don't drink tap water and at least get the primo thing from the grocery store. I mean, like, could you just talk about water a little bit more and where, because it seems like to do the highest high end is like really expensive, at least what I've looked into and even what's available here in our area. So I'm just trying to find like what is the best bang for your buck when it comes to water.
Uh, there's like an echo now. It's really
Oh,
weird.
let me unmute.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, she had her mic on and the speaker, and so when it was talking, the mic was picking it up
Oh,
probably.
got it. Okay. Water is amazing in so many ways. If you think about water, if you drink 9.5 water, which is alkalized water, nothing can really survive in your body as when it comes to like sickness. So when you're washing your fruits and vegetables, you're usually using like 11.5, and the reason why is because it can clean off of like any of those icky things that are sprayed out there in the world. We talk about air and how supposedly they spray the air, right? It's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to go into that, but and so we talk about those types of things, but that lands on our food that we grow outside, right? But water can help us clean. Well, water also needs to be cleaned when it comes into our home. So a lot of people have different types of systems that they have inside of their homes. So one system could be a whole house, water filter, which I've seen. I've seen people who have Kangen machines, which are absolutely amazing. They change the water to all these different things, and it allows you to like see the difference in the water, the different filters and things like that, and to where you can utilize it at different pH levels. So, you can wash your face with a certain pH level. The same thing, water grows, if I have hydroponic towers, I need a certain pH level inside of my hydroponic tower in order to grow strawberries. It has to be at a 6.5, but in others, it's usually a 7 to 7.5 for that pH level. So that's where water comes into play. If we're alkalizing our body and drinking that 9.5 water. Now, you can find water that says it's 9.5, and it could be like, you look at it and says sodium bicarbonate in it. Well, that's baking soda. That's all it is. It's just baking soda. So people are putting baking soda in water to actually make it 9.5. Well, now you're buying it out of plastic, which is what most things are. But the thing is that when you buy it out of plastic, you're getting microplastics. So they talk about like how much microplastic we get in our bodies every single year from the food that we eat. How are we storing it in our refrigerators? Like, are we storing it in Tupperware, or are we storing it in glass? Like, how are we getting things when we buy a hot coffee? Same thing with water. You put hot water in one of those coffee cups, then at the end of the day, like, you are getting all of those microplastics in there. So depending on the heat of your water, depending on the type of your water, depending on if your water is completely cleaned from having like a whole water like filtration system, or if you're alkalizing your water by having another water filtration system, which is highly recommended nowadays with how much stuff is put in the water. Fluoride is put in our waters. I have a friend who works in the water system, and he's like, he worked there for 2 days, and he was like, I'm going to put a whole house water system to clean the water, because he was like, it is absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. When we think about it, we used to drink out of hoses when we were kids. Like,
I know.
No problem.
I filled up my cup from the bathroom sink last night before bed, and I took a sip on it on the way to bed and went, "What in the hell is this?" It tasted like garbage. It tasted like dirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what's coming through our tap? It was disgusting.
Yeah. And so it's very interesting that water is life, and that's why it's so essential. So honestly, if you wanted to do a water class, I know a perfect person who could come and teach it. She's absolutely amazing. And we could teach a water class because it's so essential to everyday routine in life. Did that answer your question, or do you have more in depth that you would like me to go into?
I love that, and I would love a water class. Yeah, just still trying to figure out if I'm not gonna tomorrow do a whole house system. What's the next, best thing of the choices that are more readily available?
Yeah, totally.
I want to start wrapping her up. I want to thank everybody for the great conversation that we're having on the site here, the people that are here, the people that are watching. There's quite a few people watching right now. I want to thank everybody for being a part of what we're doing. This turned out really, really good. You are just an absolute wealth of knowledge. And I think that I don't even think you scratched the surface here, which would never happen in a 20-minute thing. But this is where everybody needs to get together. Crystal, I'd like to ask about Food Workshop for Hormonal Balance, Wild and Fly Fitness. That's a wonderful lady. You'll find her in the directory.
Okay.
She came through, became a member recently. She has a bungee workout where you can like you hook up to the bungees and
Oh,
fly.
so fun!
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, super cool. Wendy Fuentes, if I remember, I
Oh my
think that's her
gosh,
name.
that'd be so fun.
Amazing lady. Yeah. So yeah, let's have everyone connect with Crystal. You can go to opera.com and use the member directory to get in contact with her. If you want to shoot your contact information real quick or put it in the little sidebar so everyone can grab it. And then we'll sit down and we'll talk about building some sort of class. That's really neat. I think there's a lot we could really provide here for everybody.
And yes, hormonal. Part of the reason why I went vegan, just so you guys know, is I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's hyperthyroidism, and they told me that I was going to take a pill for the rest of my life, and I said, "You're tripping. I'm not." So, that's not happening. And I literally did a lot of research, and I've read so many books. And one of the other things is that we have to learn that, us women also go through a lot of changes with hormones as we get older, just because of, Mother Nature and lovely, lovely, lovely things that we have to deal with. But there are like it's like a sweet potato. It's a certain type of paste that you can use to help with hormonal balance that's natural. And I can give you that information too. But yes, I definitely teach classes on learning how to balance your hormones because we need it. We are highly stressed. I've read about like your cortisol levels too. That's huge. And a lot of us have to do like a cortisol detox because we're constantly going. And so I put my info in the chat. If you guys want to reach out to me,
Sure.
just shoot me a text message and I will be available. You're more than welcome to come work on the farm with me. And if you weed, then you get some vegetables to go home with for the day.
That is so cool.
You can
That
also
is
come
so cool.
and then you can also pick a flower jar to take home as well, because I also work with a nonprofit, which is absolutely amazing. We're going to be doing a wellness retreat to where we have massage therapists and people who have passed away and don't know how to process their grief. So I'll be at that retreat as well, doing the food for it and helping with people that have lost loved ones. That's what I told you in the very beginning of my story, is how many people I lost. And so it has created the person I am today. And I wouldn't change it for the world. It was hard to go through, but it has opened up this door of helping people heal and starting with one thing. It starts with progress, not perfection. And that's the one thing that I say focus on. And if you're ready to change, just make one change today. One. That's it. That's it. Just one change. And stick with it for the whole week. Like, see if you can keep up with it. It doesn't have to be something crazy either. Walk to the end of the driveway or down the street and come back. Like something simple.
Skipping McDonald's for a week would suck.
That would be
They
hard
brought-
for you.
They
Maybe
brought back the fried
one
apple
meal.
pies. Oh, man.
One meal a day. One meal a day from
One
McDonald's.
meal. All right. Hey, thank you guys so much. Thank you again, everybody. And if you're not already involved with Impact and Influence Magazine, do so. It's incredible what we're doing here, and everyone that's already working with us they'll tell you it's a really an amazing group. So thank you guys, and we'll see you all next time. And everybody get in contact with Crystal. And then Crystal, if you want to just hang out while everyone logs off so you and I can kind of debrief at the end.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.